Head coach of Canada's women's national team, it is a privilege to have you here at the Ontario Soccer Centre. John Herdman, welcome first of all.
Yeah, it's great to be here. I mean, we have 450 coaches out here. The Ontario Soccer Association have done a hell of a job, organising this, and people have given up their Saturday, Sunday to turn out and learn something new. And I'm, privileged to be here. Just, along in the grassroots. I haven't been in the grassroots for a long time, and man, I'm learning every day still.
John, it says a lot about you and the women's program. I've been a lot of coaches' conference before, and I've seen a lot of people coming in and out to take coffee breaks, washroom breaks. I didn't see anyone leave when you were out here demonstrating and talking. That goes to say a lot about not just yourself, but the program and what you bring to the table.
Yeah, listen, I mean, I've been a grassroots coach. I've been through the process. I didn't play the game at the highest level, so I've had to work hard for my coaching career. So I resonate with the people that come and sit at these sessions. I want to make sure they're engaged, I don't want them to just sit and listen to my drony old voice. I want to ask questions and get them to think like a coach, like I've got to think. So I've been there, and hopefully some of these guys will rise up and be the next me.
John, in Italy, Spain, USA, the mentality of the player, women or man, is so different than in Canada. I'm a parent of two boys, and you try to instill in them win, and win at all costs in certain situations, especially when you're representing your province or country. We lack that here still. How did you get the most out of them at that Olympics that former coaches didn't?
The secret is to forget about winning. Be a winner. And do all the things that you need to do to help a team win. Once you start thinking about winning, it's over. And I think that's the big message out there to the grassroots communities. We keep saying that if we take the winning out of things, you kill the sport. But there's a reality that the best players don't actually think about winning until that whistle finishes. And then if they win something because of the way they played, they're winners.
You're smiling all the time, John, and that's fantastic to see, whether on the sidelines in a big crucial game or whether in a practice. I think sometimes today the youth coaches are too stressed, too robotic. It almost seems like a video game that they want to play with their kids on the team.
Oh, listen, you've got to have a laugh, Good work, good mood equals good work. So if you can get that mood where you need it to be, then everything comes from that, I think. And if you take yourself too seriously as a coach, you're in the wrong job, You've got to be able to have a laugh at yourself first. Listen, I love what I do, and I want other people to love what they do. And if I'm, acting in a way that squashes their passion, I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I need to go and, become an accountant or a lawyer, This is a sport that people have to love to get the best out of themselves. And parents, coaches, that's your only job in life. Help people fall in love and stay in love with the game, because when they love it, they achieve amazing things.
Well said. What does it say? June 2nd, the rematch, Canada-USA. In less than 24 hours, sold out. Unbelievable, John.
Oh, man. It just tells you that, the Canadian public, they want to see these players. And, I feel a bit mean that we've starved the public of games this year, But I think what it's telling us is we've got to play at home. We've got to play every match at home, and hopefully in the build-up to the World Cup, we don't want to go away from home. We want to play as many games here. So fingers crossed we'll get this one under our belt. Hopefully it's the result everyone's after, which I don't know if anyone knows, but we haven't had a win in something like 12 years against the US. So we're going to need a crowd to come in with their voices, not spectators. Passionate crowd who are going to support the team to get them over that big line, and it's a big line.
Even though it's a friendly, I could hear it in your voice. It's serious business against the US of A. It's big-time business.
Yeah, it's a derby match, It's Newcastle versus Sunderland. It's Manchester versus Liverpool, I didn't say City there, I probably should have. But, derby match, and the girls know that. They, with the underdog going in, the Americans, for them, often it's just another game. But for us, it's special, and you've got the Olympic thing, and you've got playing in your own country for the first time back. There's so many reasons why we should probably capitulate under all the pressure, but I'm sure we'll come out fine and give the Americans a great run.
To me, it's special that we've had the opportunity to watch one of the classiest individuals, one of the greatest players of all time, not only in Canada, worldwide, Christine Sinclair. But I want to talk to you about when the time comes, and I hope it doesn't come for a long time, that she hangs up the cleat. I've got to be honest, John. I don't see another Christine Sinclair coming up the pipeline.
Well, I've seen Kadisha Buchanan. And this is the challenge. We've just got to start changing the mindset around Christine Sinclair. Christine's Christine because she scores thousands of goals, you know. She's just an amazing goal scorer. But we got a young kid in Buchanan. I don't want to put too much pressure on that kid yet. But she's 16. She started pretty much every game since she grabbed a shirt in the Four Nations tournament. And she's the potential Christine Sinclair of centre-backs. We now need a Sinclair full-back. We now need a Sinclair... In fact, we got one, Matheson. Wow. She's the Sinclair midfield. So it's... Yeah, I'd love another goal scorer coming through, and I think that's the key. I mean, what she does up front, Christine, you know, a goal every 1.3 games, it's just ridiculous. And I'm hoping Canada can find and produce another one.
But what she brings to the table that a lot of other players don't is that intensity, that win mentality, that break through the wall, that putting the whole team on her shoulders in many times that she's done in the past. I still don't see someone like that coming up.
Yeah, I think at the Olympics, Tancredi put the team on our shoulders in the Newcastle game against Sweden. Desiree Scott put the team on our shoulders with Matheson and Wilkinson in the GB game. And Sinclair, she appeared in some big games for us as well. I think we've broke that threshold. I think what we've seen now from the Canadian team is that they know that in tournaments gone by, they've let Christine down. You know, she's a world-class player that brings a 90% plus mindset and technical ability to every game. And I don't think the girls had ever really stepped up to that plate with her. I think in the Olympics they did, and we're starting to see other Sinclairs emerge in other positions. So hopefully after this World Cup, you know, we're starting to talk as Sophie Schmidt, Desiree Scott, Kadisha Buchanan, you know, Ashley Lawrence, Kaylin Kyle, a whole raft of young players, Janelle Foligno, as Sinclairs, and fingers crossed they can live up to that mantle.
Well said, I agree. Last question is this, then we'll let you go. We appreciate your time that you've given us here today. Speaking grassroots issues now, a lot of times players go through the cracks and they're not noticed at the provincial level. You're the national head coach. Are you out there with your staff throughout this great country of ours, watching alone without any provincial coach telling you about anything? Because we hear from parents and from youth coaches all over that they're not given the opportunity at the provincial levels for their player to be looked at properly. Are you doing that?
I wish I could be honest and say we are, but it's for me it's a 6-year plan to restructure this country. And coming into it, you know, we've got a population base of 350,000 players. We're the third highest in the world. Japan can win an Olympic medal in a World Cup on 35,000 players. Now you imagine if we put a world-class development system in place. And I think, you know, the other head coaches that have had this job, it was never their focus and it was never their task, really. And I think, you know, when you get to an Olympic Games in 2016 and you realise that 60% of your team are going to be over the age of 30 and there isn't a conveyor belt of replacements underneath, you start to realise that, hey, someone's got to put this in place. And, you know, I've had some time in New Zealand where my role was to build that infrastructure in a technical role. And I'm prepared to give it a crack here. I can't do everything at once. It's going to take some great people to work with us. But we've started some steps already, some measures to put system in place. So I've got one eye on the World Cup and one eye on the system, because if I take the eye off either of those, it all falls over. We don't do well, you don't get the funding. You don't have a system, you can't do well. So someone's got to do it, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity to try and leave a real legacy here.
A classy guy, a humble guy, a guy that we all consider a Canadian. John Herdman of the women's national team. Congratulations, good luck, and thanks so much for doing what you've done.
I appreciate it. It's been brilliant. Thanks again.